Hello, and welcome to another episode of Weekend Seattle Building, where we work on RE2 ships. As per the previous video, you should go watch that, by the way. I forgot to answer a question that I asked in the beginning of the last video, and that was, why is the Veer Cache over here? Why is the ping pong paddle over here? And what did I want to show you with it? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that first. The Veer Cache was strictly built to get you your first aux cores in RE1, and it was kitted out according on how to do that. It was specially made on how to do that. So you had high agility, you had a advanced warp drive in the back, so that you could get there and you didn't have to bring the carrier ship. You had CPU allotments that allow just the T4 CPU, so if you lost the ship, you didn't have to. You could just replace it. It did not need any aux cores at spawn. It was designed to get you your aux cores. It had a little bit of area here for taking a little damage on the nose, and the glowies here were here to let you know when you were taking damage. So this thing was designed to be a spinny combat ship. Avoided all incoming fire from the drones, from the drone capacitor matrices, and it was designed to go especially after the capacitor matrices. And everything was, all the weapon CPU was diverted to lasers, just lasers. And then the only other thing it had was 2 manual fire artillery. And that is enough to decore a capacitor matrix in one hit. That's all it was. That was the whole purpose of the ship. And it did absolutely beautifully on that. And if you think that tactic doesn't work and I couldn't pull that off, take a look at the video on my channel, the Veer Cache versus capacitor matrix. Yeah, it worked. But the reason I brought this up was because in RE1 you have all your shields here. You have all your anti-shield weapons and then 2 manual fires. And that is the entire purpose. I'm going to go ahead and just destroy it because I don't need it on the playfield anymore. That was the entire purpose of the Shrike, was to have a ship that could do that. And, well, the Shrike was built for vanilla, but the way we modified it in the last couple of episodes is so that you could do your first combat, get your first aux cores, and get your first combat kills to take on the enemies. And that's what it's designed to do. And the RE2 Shrike is currently on my workshop. For anybody that wants to join my Discord, you can get a copy of this. But it's only on the Discord, and it will be for another week and a half. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Shrike because we're done with it, and it's been published on the Discord. And we are going to work on moving this into RE2. Now, today, that just means stripping turrets. It means making sure the internals are not, well, making sure that the internals are set up properly. So we are going to be pulling an older version, an older build version. Now, this is something that regulars of my channel might be familiar with. It's a older version of the Reaper. And this one, on the outside it looks the same, other than being white, which, I mean, yeah. On this one, on the internals, we need to strip out all the extra stuff on the internals. So, all of the turrets will need to be stripped off of that version. This one will need to be brought. Okay, that's what I ended up doing with that door. Got it. So I'll just close that off. Just getting my stuff in line here. On the internals here, I need to strip out all of this decoy stuff because it doesn't work in RE2. I mean, the decoys don't really work very well in RE2, so I'm going to strip out all but one group of decoys. Actually, all of the decoys need to be stripped. So, in order to shave some weight, we need to bring in a version of this that does not have the forward decoys. So, let's bring in the V1 version. Let's not bring in that version. Is there a V2 version? No, there's not. Okay, we're gonna go all the way back to the V1 version. The first hour save of the Reaper. And this pad's getting pretty crowded. And we have to redo all of the work that I did to strip out the thrusters and things like that. And then we're going to copy and paste the area that's been stripped back over to the... Let's go turn on selection. Let's turn on symmetry plane. Now, if my mouse doesn't, if it doesn't look like I'm as jittery as I used to be, it's because I bought a new mouse, because the other one sort of crapped out. This is good in a couple of respects, because I can now set the DPI on the mouse, because I just had one DPI option on the other mouse. But it's bad on the sense that I had to spend like 200 freaking bucks to get a new mouse. But yeah, that's I'm not happy about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on another symmetry plane. And if I sound nasally again today, it's because I just worked outside and the pollen and all the things I'm allergic to the other day. So yeah, it is what it is. I will try and do my best to undo. Undo. So we are just gonna keep getting rid of all this extra stuff on the inside. Now this is something that I often do to save myself time, is just look at different versions of a build, like older versions of a build, to make sure that I can revert to them or use parts of those older builds before it's been filled in, because this has not been filled in. And just save time overall. And guys, if you want... Oh. For the last couple of weeks, the person that did a refit of this and showed me that this works in RE2, that person, Pencro, I offered... Let's just do that. There we go. I offered a copy of this to that person. But he didn't want it. So, anyways, it would have saved him a lot of time on redoing it, but I also understand that, yeah, I understand. But I am going to do this from the proper way. I'm going to do this the proper way, which is just removing everything internally and stripping it back to basics. I love the fact that one of my builds works for RE2, even though it requires some modifications. So that should be there. Oh, okay. Undo, undo. There we go. We're gonna go with these. And keep cutting that back out to there. What is gonna happen here? Come on. I cut one too many blocks in. What did I... Oh, I just reset symmetry by accident. Whoops daisies. On the plus side, I don't have the double clicking issue, which is nice. Okay, that's good. I can just cut it back to there. Okay. I have to get rid of that turret anyways. I'm not replacing it. And yes, this thing is made out of hardened steel. I did that on purpose. And I am so glad that I did back in the day. This is, as you guys know, this current piece I'm working with comes from a project called Wedgetail. And the Wedgetail, for those of you who've been watching on the Wednesday, dang it. This is going to happen a lot. This is going to happen a lot because I'm getting used to the DPI on a new mouse. And when I move my hand around, I expect a certain response. But yeah, it's not happening. Because, well, yeah, reasons. That, and I set the DPI. Anyways, back to the task at hand. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Back to the task at hand. That's not set correctly either. Let's put it there. Okay, there we go. So back to the task at hand and the mention of the Wedgetail. The front of this ship comes from a ship called the Wedgetail. And for those of you watching on Wednesday Addled building, you know that the Wedgetail, I'm not going to end up copying that piece, so I'm not going to mess with that. The Wedgetail is a giant ship that's going to be eventually turned into an OPV of some sort. So now that this is done, I have to make sure that it gets done properly. So that's the one we're moving it to. This is the original. Okay, so there's not much difference, so that hasn't been changed. So let's go ahead and turn off symmetry mode, go to selection. Let's do that. So I am currently debating how I want to do this. Do I want to do it from this version 1 and then just copy and paste the changes in? I don't know. Or do I want to do it from version 5 and copy and paste the changes in? I don't know yet. So we are going to be figuring that out together, dear viewer. So just want to make sure. Let's turn symmetry plane back on. How did I solve that on the final version? Oh, just that. Okay. Yes, I know that's steel. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so that brings that in. Okay, there is a method to my madness, it's fine. Okay. Now that we've gutted the nose section, yeah. Now that we've gutted the nose section, let's turn on symmetry plane again. And let's go all the way up to that. So we're going to use that turret as a reference. And it's that turret in the back. Okay, yeah, let's not go that far. Let's go to the back of this turret over here. Let's go to, well, we're going to use that as a reference point again, but we're going to go to the back of this one. So let's put it there. Okay, and then go underneath it. Not that far underneath. Okay, that looks good. Now we just need to bring it all the way forward to the nose. Copy it. And mess up your selection, because, yeah, whatever. I hope that doesn't prompt me to restart the game, doing that shenanigans. I hope I just didn't cause a bug. Paste. Nah, I'm good. Okay. Did not want to have to re-record that. Whenever I have to restart the game, I just re-record. It's fine. So if you're wondering where the music for the stream goes, there is a link in the description down below, and there's a link to the Spotify playlist used. I need to actually put in all the songs as well as full out. It's on my to-do list, okay? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and paste it because it's doing the whole texture stuff. And we're good. That's all it took to do. I say all, but yeah. That's how I got the nose cleared out. And just use older versions, make sure that you're selecting the right piece, and good to go. Now, I have other plans for this other than that, but I am going to take a short break. I know, not really professional, like 17 minutes in. But in the meantime, I have a question for you, dear audience. And I'm gonna leave this up to you. What is your favorite aspect of this game? Is it the building? Is it the fact that you can play this game with friends or offline even if you never have an internet connection to the device again? Is it the fact that they don't force you to buy DLC? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what brought you to this game and what has endeared it to you. I really want to know why people enjoy this game so much. Like, I have my reasons, but I want to know yours. Let me know in the comments, and I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so back to this. It looks like when I did the copy and paste, I got rid of some of the internals that is already made here, and some of the texturing that is already made here. So we are going to go ahead and... Okay, right, I deleted the other two. I've already forgotten that. We are going to go ahead and just spawn another Reaper. And copy and paste the sections around the bridge that I may have deleted. Now, I have a feeling that this is going to be a longer project than normal, but I'm going to show you the highlights, and I'm going to work on this in the background because I don't want this conversion to take 3 weeks of videos. So, yeah, anyways. One thing on the feedback for the person from Pencro is that one of the feedback pieces from Pencro was that he removed the advanced generators and replace them with basic generators, and I will do that as well. I just realized something. I just made a stupid mistake. I just made such a stupid mistake that I'm kicking myself right now. I'll explain the mistake that I made. So when I worked with V5 version, I think it was the V5 version, or was it the... or was it the 10 version? Here, let me just spawn it. I think it was the 10 version. Version 10. So when I worked with this, what I didn't do is... Gosh, my thoughts are horrible. What I didn't do was copy and paste that nose section to the version where it doesn't have the internals filled up. So, yeah. Great job, me. So we're gonna go ahead and just copy and paste that again. Or maybe, if I'm lucky... Look, I'm not normally this lucky, okay? It's still in the paste menu. It's still in the paste menu. We got lucky. Okay. So let's put that with the center. Move it back. Line it up. Go up 1, back 2. And the reason that I didn't have it go back any further than that is because I didn't want to upset the shaping that I had done back there already. Wrong button. So now that it's lined up, we can just paste it. And that eliminates the need for this stuff at the moment. So I'm just going to get rid of these. I know I made changes to one of them. It doesn't matter. So we are going to continue to work from the version 10 version, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this to Work in Progress RE2 Reaper. And then we're just going to put 1. Just so that I have a version that I know is just RE2. Now, it's only been 30 minutes, roughly, since starting on this project. Well, 25. But it's good to save an initial copy. That way you can just respawn it if you accidentally do a funny and destroy it instead of something else. Which I have done, guys. I have done that. It's not fun. Yeah. So we're just going to move this to the center of the pad after I run into something and flip it. And we're going to continue to work on the internals. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with that doorway. Don't know, don't care at the moment. That... yeah, whatever. I'll fix that in a bit. That's what I was trying to fix earlier. So let's go ahead and turn on symmetry plane for this and set it so that it's only vertical. There we go. And start chipping away at all the internal stuff, because we need as much space in here as possible. Okay, let's just do that. Now we need to start stripping out generators here. So we're just gonna get rid of these. I'm not removing the room. You know, I'm not removing that for a reason, and I'll show you that in a minute. So just gonna get rid of the. Stop doing that. Undo. I don't know what I hit with the collision, but whatever. So we're gonna rip those out, which means it's probably not gonna have very many generators, but it has decoy generators around the exterior. That's all we need for creative. So stripping those out, and we're gonna end up replacing those with. I have no idea. Oh, that's why. Okay. Going to end up replacing those with. Great texture problem here. Okay, so I got sidetracked again. That's not good. I've got to rip that out now too. Let's see here. In order to build a ship, you have to reconstruct it, because we are refitting. I mean, at least it's not like deconstructing a sandwich. That's messy. What is a deconstructed sandwich? I might just go ahead and feel free to call me uncultured swine, but I have no idea what deconstructed sandwich means. Okay, I have no idea, and yeah. I have no idea what that means in the context. So yeah, just let me know. Okay. Can I get rid of that? Yeah, I can get rid of that. Okay, let's see here. Can I get rid of those? Possibly. Not those. Okay. So we are just trying to make as much room in the ship as possible. So I'll come back to that section. Now these, on the other hand, I'm leaving. Like, I'm going to leave those. Like, not the thruster, but the generator. I'm leaving the generator. You know what? I'll leave the thruster. If it means using a little bit extra CPU, so what? So these thrusters, these reverse thrusters, you only need one, because then you can upgrade them to something better. So what I'm going to end up doing is remove that one. Remove these two, because we can put gun mounts in there. Just gonna remove those 2 blocks as well. And I have a feeling I'm gonna put some like tanking, armor tanking there. So just gonna remove them. And let's go ahead and grab that thruster because I'm too lazy to get it in the block menu. Come on, get over here. Rotate. These 2 thrusters are going bye-bye because I don't need them. Currently checking some things. These 2 thrusters back here can go, because this is a bastion, not a spinny. Okay, and we'll have to... So now I need to go in there and just continue the shaping, and we'll fill it back up. We'll fill the shaping back. And then we're going to copy that block so we get the shaping. Can you copy the block that I want you to copy? No? Okay, fine. I'll deal with you in a minute. There we go. Now it's cooperating. That radar array needs to be moved. Okay. Which means I need to start copying these blocks. I can remove that. Let's just go ahead and fill this in. Speaking of double clicking, apparently, yeah, okay. There we go. That's good to go. Sorry about that. It's just, yeah, there was an itch in my ear. I couldn't deal with it. Anyway. Oh, allergies are really bad right now. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open there. Now, there are some people that want plasma turbines in this thing. I'm going to leave that to the individual builder to decide if they want those plasma turbines, because adding negative power draw adds the fuel book. So, yeah, I'll put a notice about that somewhere in the description at some point. And if you disagree that the fuel bug is only an RE, feel free to pop off in the comments. It's fine. Okay, so we are looking for chargers. Shield. Of course he renamed everything. That makes sense. And then turn the filter to CV. Those aren't as bad as they used to be, size-wise. Now you might be wondering, what the heck are you doing here, Akeva? I'm just trying to get an idea of the size. Like, I know what the size is based on the stats, but I'm trying to get a visual representation in my mind, a spatial representation in my mind of what the size is. If you're wondering what that shape was, that's what that shape was. And the reason that it's different on the bottom is because it was shaped differently on the bottom than it is on the top. Because, yeah. So I can go ahead and switch that. Just making sure that I have the block copied. Minor little side diversion there. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and stop early because I have another appointment that I need to get to after this. I'm also a little bit worried about what the next steps I need to take are on this, so if you have any ideas, thoughts, comments, let me know, or come into the Discord and have a chat with me. I have a guide on what to do next, but I don't have a definitive plan. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. I know it's a little bit shorter. I will work on it in the background with some assistance from some other people in the Discord. I don't know who yet, but there will be some people in the Discord that will give me some assistance on this, depending on who's available. And they will also... You know what? I'm going to actually do a little side thing. I'm not going to cut it off right now, but I want to show you something that I do regularly. So, just give me a minute to set this up. File that I posted, and let's go ahead and go to the Shadow of Hijara. The Shadow of Hijara. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, as usual, I'm just going to show this off. This ship was made for RE1, so it's not going to work in RE2, just a heads up. I'm showing this here because I go through and do all of this stuff for you guys. Intended upgrades, combat defensive features, yada yada yada, storage and volumes, utility features, and especially want to show off this. Well, not show off, but let you guys know about this. This is something that I do, and I do regularly. I have one of these sections on all of my workshop builds. Big thanks to Waldonis for pre-release alpha live testing, Don2K7 for the support and feedback, helps me with a lot of builds, NT and Alessia for the incredible LCDs, my friends and community for always being supportive. This is something that I do because I am so thankful, and I am cognizant that my community helps shape my content. You guys contribute, you answer questions when I have questions. When I don't know something, I go to a subject matter expert. That is my philosophy. When you don't know something, go to a subject matter expert. So if I don't know something about, say, LCDs, I go to Alessia and ask questions. NT, he's got a mention in there because he made an LCD. He made an LCD that I used in this ship, and you can see it up here. Where is it? The cockpit. You see that LCD back there? Yeah, he made that LCD, and so he gets a mention every time I use that LCD, mentioned in the big thanks to section. So that being said, and for those of you who popped off, that sent me angry DMs for calling out Ravine for not having a section like that on his RE2, thanks. Thanks for letting me know that I'm doing a good job. The fact that you hate me for calling him out for that means that I'm doing a good job and I'm doing my best. And as we saw in that RE2, in the first look at the RE2 channel, he does not do that. I do this because you guys help me out, and your dedication and your selflessness of answering questions and helping me out with this stuff means that you deserve thanks. Okay? And I will do my absolute best to make sure that people that help me out with this build and contribute to this build get thanks. And just like you guys know that. It's the polite thing to do, it's the stand-up thing to do, and yeah. Thank you everyone for supporting the community. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Big shout out to my patrons, JD Bruce and the Insane Aerospace Engineer. Thank you guys both. Let's see here. Any other notices? Not at the moment. Just like touch on something real quick. Channel content is a little bit in flux right now. Like, the schedule for channel content is a little bit in flux right now. I might not be able to hit the uploads every day. I picked up a new job, and I'm currently being trained in the new job. And quite frankly, the job is giving me nightmares because of just how expensive everything that I work with is. It's just like, if that breaks, do I even want to know how much that costs? No, because I don't want to have the issue of thinking that that thing costs like 10K or more. Like, the thing I was dusting yesterday, the piece of artwork I was dusting yesterday, costed more than well, I'm not gonna say how much it costed more than, but it costed 10K, and it probably, I know in my mind I was thinking it was $10,000, and it was probably about $5,000 more than that. And the fact that on day 1 of my training, I'm in charge of dusting that, scares the crap out of me. I'm like, I am financially ruined if I break this. So, yeah. Well, I'm not ruined, but you know what I mean. It's just, yeah. So, yeah, anyways, getting back to the point here, Akiva. Channel content will be a little bit inconsistent, and has been a little bit inconsistent lately because I am trying to work out my work-life balance. And that takes priority over getting content out on a regular schedule, okay? I'd rather have good content go out. I'd rather have good content go out when it can go out, and be engaged and happy and lighthearted, rather than being exhausted and drained and just having the content be bleh, boring. Anyways, so that's just a heads up. Remember to be kind to your fellow humans. Banshee out.